but God tests his people's faith. James 5:11. Behold, we count them happy which endure, because they come out at the end glorified, decorated, celebrated. Ye have heard of the patience of Job, and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and tender of mercy, of tender mercy. In Hebrews 6 and verse 15. Now, Genesis 22:1, please. It said, and it came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abraham. His faith was tested. He passed the test to emerge a symbol of generational blessing that we know today. Hebrews 6:15. And so, after he had patiently endured, he obtained the promise. God tested the faith of Abraham and he passed the test. Hebrews 11:17-19. The word says, by faith Abraham, when he was tried or tested, offered up Isaac, and neither had received the promise, offered up his only begotten son, of whom it is written or said that in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Accounting that God was able to raise him up even from the dead. I'm going to cut his neck and set the altar on fire. I know God can gather the ashes and bring him back. He was tested, he passed the test. Now let's look at the various platforms of the test of Abraham. His obedience was tested. Genesis 12:1-4. Your obedience will be tested and you must pass it to change class. Get out of their country. And so Abraham departed. He passed the first test of obedience. Please hear. This is first test, primary test. Some are still struggling with it. Number 2, he passed the test of patience. Hebrews 6:12. He said, don't be slothful, but followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promises. Verse 13. For when God made promise to Abraham, because he could swear by no other, by no greater, he swore by himself, saying, surely blessing I will bless thee, and multiply I will multiply thee. And so, after he had patiently endured, he obtained the promise. He passed the test of patience. Holy patience, not murmuring patience. Joyful patience, not grumbling patience. Not pointing accusing fingers to God. Abraham and Sarah, a most hilarious family. Number 3, he passed the love test. Lot went with him as his aid. And God was blessing Abraham and he was transferring blessings to Lot. The herdsmen of Lot rose against the herdsmen of Abraham. There was a strife. And Abraham said, come on, young man, you take any part of this field that you want, and I'll take the remaining. Lord said, old man, I take all this green place, you take the dry place. And it came to pass after Lord departed from him that the Lord said, now lift up your eyes, look northwards and northward, southward. All the land that you see, I will give unto you. after Lot departed. Now, Lot got into trouble in chapter 14. And to show that Abraham did not give him that thing out of, okay, just go away, you wicked boy. When Lot was captured and his wives, Abraham armed himself. No, not my cousin. I must get him back. Amen. Get ready. I'm leading the battle tonight. Abraham went, conquered the army of the enemy, rescued his brother and his two wives. He passed the love test. Your love for God will be tested. Get ready for it. He passed the love test. We have that account in Genesis 13, 5 to 12, 14 to 17, in Genesis 14, 14 to 20. Now, Abraham passed the liberality test, and that is the test of prosperity. He saw three men, he ran after them, Genesis 18, 1 to 8. My Lord, if I found people on your side, just rest a little while, I'll bring you milk, I'll bring you water. In a moment, I'll bring you meal. Ran down to the tent. Sarah, we got some guests right now, let's make ready. Went by himself and took a lamb from the heart, slaughtered it, and called the young men to dress it up quickly. We have some guests now. He passed the liberality test. The liberal soul shall be made fat, and in the water shall himself be watered unto. Your liberality will be tested. His strength was tested. Get up, take your son, your only son Isaac, and go forth in the morning. Go forth, and I'll show you the mountain where you sacrifice him. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and began trekking with his son and wood on his head. After 3 days, he saw the place afar off, and God said, that's the place you are going. This time, it was average 114 years old. Trekked for 3 days in search of a place where he would sacrifice his son. His strength was tested. He passed the test. And finally, his integrity was tested. The king of Sodom met him, Genesis 14, 21 to 23, and said to Abraham, give me the persons and take the goods to thyself. And Abraham said to the king of Sodom, I've lifted up my eyes unto the Lord, the Most High, the possessor of heaven and earth, that I will not take from a thread even to a shoe latchet, and that I will not take anything that is thine, lest thou shouldest say, I have made Abraham rich. Everybody's integrity will be tested to assess the Abrahamic order of prosperity. Everyone's integrity will be tested. Everyone's integrity will be tested before he can assess the Abrahamic order of prosperity. If you're Abraham's seed, then do the works of Abraham. Isaiah 51 verse 1 to 3. That is what the word says. Hearken unto me, ye that love righteousness, follow after righteousness. Ye that seek the Lord, look unto the rock whence ye are going, and the hole from where you are digged. Look unto Abraham your father and to Sarah that bare thee, for I called them alone and blessed him and increased him. For the Lord shall comfort Zion after the same order. He will comfort all our waste places, and it will make our wilderness like Eden and our desert like the garden of the Lord. Joy and gladness shall be heard in her, thanksgiving and the voice of melody. We must pass this test that Abraham had to pass before we enter into that realm of affluence, that realm of fortune, where our wilderness is turned to Eden and our desert like the garden of the Lord, where joy and gladness only shall be heard in our camp. We must pass this test. So singing Abraham's tells our mind doesn't bring it. You pass this test to step in. The trial of our faith is the platform for developing wings of faith. James 1:2-4. My brethren, count it all joy where ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have a perfect work, that it may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. You don't pass a test without access to relevant resources in school. You engage with relevant resources to pass a test. One of my daughters here was on the line for Miracle Joy, and he had me saying that the answer is in the book. So he got the book Word Encounters. It's a testimony park, and stayed under the tent after Sunday service and finished the book before going home. By Tuesday, she got a job. You don't pass a test wishing. You pass every test connecting with relevant resources that will put you on top of it. One of our young daughters in one of the universities read the book Towards Mental Exploits, and from there made a first class upon graduation. Everybody had to go after relevant resources to pass any test. I read 8 books on marriage in search of what make marriage work, and it's been working all the years. You can't pass a test without looking for relevant resources to make it happen. Remember, we are called to follow the steps of those before us, not their results. Discover their steps, and if you're interested in their kind of results, follow the steps. In 1 Peter 2 and verse 21, the word says, for even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that we should follow his steps. Not follow the results, follow the steps. Follow the steps. It took Peter, James, and John when he was going to raise Jairus' daughter. And when Dorcas died, Peter followed the steps. And Dorcas came back to life. He asked all of them who are weeping to get out, like Jesus would do. He followed the steps to get the same result. Follow the steps. I've told you this story several times. I was on a trip and I returned 1987. My wife was not on that trip. And I came back with volumes of materials in boxes. And my wife said, what did you bring? I said, come and see. So I've always had a library from the time I was married. A room where no one sleeps. So I invited her to the library. First box, books. Second box, books. He said, wait a minute, what else? I said, that's all else. All this inside. I said, the content of these books, if comprehended, can make me a manufacturer of the things I will have bought. Can make me a manufacturer of the things I will have bought. I don't know how much they build factories. I'm not involved in it. But I can build any factory now by grace. Any factory. I said that 87. Intentional. 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 You don't pass tests by wishing. Somebody's creating under financial rigor. He has never read Understanding Financial Prosperity. Never. He has never read Breaking Financial Hardship. Never. But looking for Papa to pray. Papa's prayer can't break the covenant. No. Can bring you relief or can't change your supposition. You are faced with health challenges. You have never read one book on healing in your life. One book, not one. And you want to pass the test. How? How? No one passes any test by wishing. You pass the test by engaging relevant resources. No one passes any test by wishing. You pass every test by engaging relevant resources. In the name of Jesus, the last defeat you knew is the last you ever know in your life.